Before I begin today's video, please sign the Texas Public Policy Foundation pledge to end human trafficking through the link in the description box below. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about this guy by the name of Dreadhead Cowboy, also known as Adam Hollingsworth out of Chicago, Illinois, who nearly rode his horse to death because he wanted to engage in a so-called peaceful protest. Now, this story is really crazy. I don't want to say too much more right now. Let's go ahead and roll this clip. In this clip, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see the context, you'll see the video, you'll see all that. After we get done watching that, I'll come back. I'll talk about that. I'll talk about some more things that were not in that video. Then I'll give you my 2 cents, my deep detail analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Today, the man known as Dreadhead Cowboy is looking for his horse.
I love Nunu. Like, I actually, I had her a short period of time. She is one of my newest horses. I had her for about 3 months, and we didn't grow a bond like she's one of my kids.
Last night, Adam Hollingsworth posted bail after being arrested for aggravated animal cruelty, among other charges, all after a 7-mile ride on the Dan Ryan Expressway during Monday afternoon's rush hour. In court yesterday, a prosecutor said the horse named Nunu was so injured she may have to be euthanized, and described to the judge that Hollingsworth was beating the horse when it collapsed to get it up. Hollingsworth acknowledges he may have ridden Nunu too long, but denies any cruelty on his part.
It was very upsetting knowing that I love my horse. I treat my horse like my kids. When I was hearing all the things and I couldn't say nothing, and I had to stand there and just listen to all the lies that was being told on me.
Today we found Hollingsworth supporting other activists, as he has done in the past, even assisting a campaign to get out the word about the importance of filling out your census. But the issue Monday was and remains for Hollingsworth the need to invest and support young people in Chicago.
I'm out here on some positive things, and the negatives they trying to bring upon what I'm out here really about, I feel like they trying to take away from the bigger picture.
All right, so you heard that, you saw that. Now, this story, like I said, this story is crazy, ridiculous. I don't care what kind of protest you are doing, hurting animals. I don't really see how you justify it. It's one of your horses and you love her. It's like one of my kids, all this, that, and the third. You say all that, but you almost kill your horse. When the police caught up to the horse, when the caretakers caught up to it, they were saying that the horse was so badly injured, their eyes were dilated to the point of having cartoon eyes. They couldn't really stand. They collapsed, extremely dehydrated, exhausted. The horse almost died. If the horse was not captured by the authorities when they caught it right out there on the Dan Ryan Expressway, the horse would have died. He almost killed his horse. Couple of things. The horse did not have shoes on. Okay, there is a real thing called horseshoes. You know, it ain't just a game you play. Those are real things. You're galloping on a horse, galloping, not just walking, galloping on a horse for a half hour on cement, on concrete pavement, a half hour. That is way too long. That is way too much. If you know anything about horses, and I'm not saying I'm some kind of equestrian over here, but good grief, I know that you can't run no horse on no concrete for a half hour. That's just ridiculous. He was trying to say in the press conference that they do way worse in the circus, way worse on the racetrack. Come on. You're not going to see a horse running a race and then collapse and die afterwards. That's just not how it goes. All right. He almost killed that horse because of what? Oh, kids' lives matter. Now, when you hear kids' lives matter, it kind of makes sense. I mean, I'm for kids' lives matter in theory. It's sort of like Black Lives Matter. We'll talk about that in a moment. But just hearing kids' lives matter, and that he's advocating for the health and the welfare and safety of kids in the community that are killed by really other kids in the community, mostly black kids killing black kids, and their poverty and their plight. I'm all for that. But see, that's just not what he's about. Like I said, first of all, the animal cruelty. And by the way, he has 5 horses. I wonder how the other horses are treated. If he gallops them on concrete for a half hour or what, I don't know, but I digress. He had 5 other horses. He's been at other, so-called peaceful protests, like Black Lives Matter peaceful protests. He's been there. I saw him. It was like some kind of cell phone video of a guy just running into him because he's always out like South Side, and he's in random places downtown Chicago with his horse. And it's a cool thing. Kids come up to him, adults come up to him. They want to take pictures. They want to touch the horse, all kind of stuff. That part is cool. But there was one little cell phone impromptu kind of interview where the guy asked him, hey, you police? He said, nah, F12, F the police. This guy does not like the police. So if you're really about kids' lives mattering, if you really want to see kids survive out there in Chicago, why do you hate the police? It's not the police out there killing the kids. I think you know that, sir. I think you know that. I'm for your mission of trying to help the kids. But if you're saying F to police and F12, all you're going to do is make that problem worse. He said in the press conference that right now in 2020, the homicide rate in the community is the highest it's been in years. Now you got to ask yourself why. Why is it so high right now? It's just because, just for no reason. I remember that one weekend where the so-called Black Lives Matter protesters, you probably were there, Mr. Dreadhead Cowboy, but that one weekend when the BLM protesters were there in downtown Chicago trying to burn the whole city down from downtown, the police could not be out in the neighborhoods when they were needed. So it was like open season. And that weekend was the highest number of murders in Chicago's history in that particular period of time. So if you're wondering why the homicide rate in the city is up really high, if you're wondering why so many kids are being killed, because let's be clear, a lot of these gangbangers are under the age of 20. You're talking about between the ages of 12 and 20. And if you fit like 15 and 20, probably like the prime time, you got teenagers, high school, middle school kids that are killing each other, or kids that get caught in the crossfire of gang violence. They even shot a postal worker out there in Chicago, not for a particular reason. She just happened, yes, a woman, she just happened to be out there. And I think she had just had a baby like a month ago. So, I mean, Chicago is a violent place. It's a dangerous place in a dangerous areas, not all over the whole city, but different story. The dangerous areas are dangerous, and being against the police is not going to help you. Abusing your animal, almost killing your horse, is not going to help you. Not at all. This was a clear case of animal cruelty. Now, he's locked up, of course, or he's facing the charge. I'm not sure if he's in jail right now. He's facing the charge of animal cruelty, obviously criminal trespass, reckless behavior, some kind of reckless charge. Okay. Disobeying a police officer because they pulled up on him while he was on a damn Ryan and were telling him, hey, get off the highway with your horse. Okay, you're galloping with your horse, get off the highway. He almost killed that horse. And then he had a press conference talking about, oh, the horse is okay, the horse is not that bad. Come on, man. I mean, anybody could see what was going on. Witnesses that were on the road saw you kicking and whipping the horse. Because at one point, the horse had collapsed. Like as it was galloping on the cement, which you cannot do on a unshoed horse. Even with shoes, that's a lot. But anyway, the horse had collapsed, and then the witness saw Hollingsworth, aka Dreadhead Cowboy, kick and whip the horse to keep going. When he would slow down, the horse that is, he whip him and kick him to keep him going. That's animal cruelty. You know, if you know anything about horses, which he says he does, says he loves horses, has at least 5 horses. If you have that many horses and you know about them and you care for them and you love them, you would know better than to have the horse out there unshoed and almost kill him because kids' lives matter. As I close, I want to say this. I'm all for the expression kids' lives matter. But when you out there, almost killing your horse to do it, when you're talking about F12, F to police, I'm not really a fan. Apparently, Miss Lori Lightfoot, the mayor, likes the guy. Earlier in the year, he was the census ambassador or the census czar, whatever you want to call it. Basically, he would ride around with a census flag and help with that whole effort. That's great. That's fantastic. You're doing some good things, but at the same time, you're doing bad things. The good thing is bringing awareness to the violence in the community as far as black on black, really, because that's what it is. The kids killing each other. And also, driving awareness for the census. Great things. Fantastic. At the same time, you're talking about F12, F the police, Black Lives Matter, the same Black Lives Matter that causes a lot of the uptick in the violence. And you out here abusing animals on camera. We all saw it. The horse was bleeding, limping on cement concrete for a half hour. He galloped on the horse for 7.5 miles on the Dan Ryan Expressway. And the max a horse can go, from what I know, is about 14, 15 miles an hour on a gallop. So, do the math. 15 miles an hour max, 7.5 miles. That's how far you went. You're talking about 30 minutes. Ridiculous. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think the Dreadhead Cowboy was ridiculous in what he did? You want to protest for the so-called good cause by almost killing your horse? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Or does it not really matter? Somebody almost killed the horse, because what's more important is Black lives and kids' lives and all that kind of stuff like that. So you could sacrifice your horse, almost kill it, but still vote for the same people you vote for all the time. Lori Lightfoot, you want to support her. You want to support all these people that have these policies in your communities that make situations the way they are. You want to not really speak against the lifestyle. You're trying to talk about external forces. What about the internal forces? Now, I don't know the extent of his activism. He should be focused more on internal things rather than external. And if it's going to be external, you can't try to fix the people in there that aren't good already. You got to be supporting particular political candidates, maybe even run yourself. But if you out here almost killing horses, you might not be the guy that should run, because mentally, you're not really going to be a sound fit for the job. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.